Local 4 News at 4.
Good afternoon and thanks for joining us for Local 4 News at 4. I'm Tiffany Lundberg. The Quad Cities is bracing itself for a round of severe weather tonight. Storms and showers are expected to make their way through the area. So let's send it back over to Chief Meteorologist Andy McCrae for a look at what we can expect. Andy?
Hey Tiffany, already one round of thunder showers has rolled through the area. That happened early this morning, and now the atmosphere destabilizing once again. So the Storm Prediction Center, that's a branch of the National Weather Service, they've issued a tornado watch for the entire area. This just came out a little while ago, and it goes until 9 o'clock this evening. So several hours coming up with the potential for severe weather in the Quad Cities. The best chance for the severe weather this evening, an enhanced risk from the Quad Cities to Clinton and Aledo, Monmouth, and Galesburg. The threat for severe weather a little bit lower in Iowa City and Washington. But let me break it down for you hour by hour. This is our future cast now at 5 o'clock. Watch the difference from 5 to 7 o'clock. These storms really fire up. They'll be dropping some large hail, some strong winds, and we can't even rule out an isolated tornado or two. That's why it is a tornado watch for the Quad Cities this evening. At 8 o'clock, the worst of the weather will be northeast of the Quad Cities, and then things do improve with just scattered showers later tonight. But before that happens, the potential is there for severe weather this evening. So we are looking at a risk of wind, damaging winds, hail, even a slim chance for a tornado in the Quad Cities. So again, it is a tornado watch until 9 o'clock. In the Quad Cities metro area, the time when the severe thunderstorms are most likely is between 5 and 8 this evening. Much more on this developing severe weather risk coming up in just a little bit. Tiffany.
Andy, thank you. And if you are planning on hitting the road tonight, Illinois State Police have issued a high wind advisory. Semi-trucks are especially urged to use caution while on the highways. And if the weather gets bad enough, authorities say pull over at a rest area until it dies down. Officials say semi-trucks are at risk for tipping over in these high winds. The advisory lasts until tomorrow morning. Voters in Illinois are getting their turn this afternoon. Right now, people living in Illinois are heading to polling locations for the primary elections. Although Iowa was first to make their picks, political leaders say Illinois will also play a significant role. Local 4's Morgan Breezemaster visited the polls in Rock Island County today, and that's where we find her now. Morgan, how is today's turnout so far?
Hey Tiffany, yeah, I'm told today's turnout here in Rock Island is one of the highest it's ever been. The election staff who's here with me has told me that by noon there was about 200 ballots cast already. They say today's primary is something they are calling a Mega Tuesday, just behind Super Tuesday. Now, political consultants told us earlier this week more people will probably vote because the race is so tight. Now, today joining me to give us a better idea of what today's turnout is Mark Sheffleton. Thanks so much for joining us. Will you tell us what you've seen today?
Well, so far we've seen increased turnout compared to previous years.
Okay, and how would you compare this to those other years?
Significant increase.
And you come from Ohio, you were telling me. Yes. What's the difference there between what you've seen here in Illinois?
I would say they're relatively comparable. Okay.
Thanks so much, Mark. And Tiffany, and for our viewers out there, the polls are open until 7 o'clock tonight. Live in Rock Island, Morgan Breezemaster, Local 4 News.
Morgan, thank you. But it's not just the race for the White House that voters will be deciding today. Another big race is for the U.S. Senate. 3 Democrats are vying for the nomination. Incumbent Mark Kirk also faces a primary challenge for the Republicans. Republicans are also competing to see who will take on Representative Sherry Bustos for her seat in Congress. There are also 4 Democrats and 2 Republicans going after their party's nomination to represent the Quad Cities in the General Assembly. They're trying to take the seat being vacated by Pat Verschoor in the 72nd District. And people in Cook County, Illinois are making sure their vote counts. Officials in Chicago say Cook County has set a new primary record. Nearly 130,000 votes were cast Sunday in the Windy City alone, where tensions are high. That's a 37% increase over the previous high for a primary.
I don't know if we've ever had a race quite this contested in both parties.
And officials say more than 102,000 votes were cast Sunday in the suburbs of Cook County. And a CBS News poll shows Donald Trump leading with 38% support in Illinois. That's 4 points more than Ted Cruz at 34%. John Kasich follows in third at 16%, and Marco Rubio is at 11%. For the Democrats, the same poll gives Bernie Sanders a narrow lead over Hillary Clinton in Illinois. His 48% support rate is 2 points higher than Clinton's. And voters in North Carolina, Missouri, Florida, and Ohio are also heading to the polls today. Florida and Ohio are winner-take-all states for the Republicans.
If we have a big vote here in South Florida, we're going to win the state.
I will be, however, forced going forward to talk about some of the deep concerns I have about the way this campaign has been run by some others.
99 Republican delegates are up for grabs in Florida, while 66 are available in Ohio. Marco Rubio is trailing Trump in the polls, but the senator says he's brushing off predictions and focusing on getting people to the polls instead. Ohio Governor John Kasich is trying to do the same, but is feeling the pressure from Donald Trump. He's tied with Trump in the Buckeye State, according to a CBS News poll. And in the Democratic race, Bernie Sanders hopes to sweep the 3 Midwest states after an upset victory in Michigan last week.
If there's a large voter turnout, we're going to do just great.
I've gotten more votes than anybody, including Donald Trump, and 600,000 more, and I think I'm ready to take him on.
And Hillary Clinton already has a significant delegate lead over Sanders, with more than half the total needed to win the nomination. Florida is the biggest prize tonight for Democrats, with 246 delegates available. More businesses could be coming to Bettendorf. Tonight, City Council is considering changing the plans for the land southwest of 53rd Avenue and Middle Road. The agricultural district could become commercial space. The council is considering using the space for shops or residential use. Tonight's City Council meeting starts at 7 p.m. Mental health issues head to Iowa's capital today. The Vera French Community Mental Health Center in Des Moines. Both employees and patients hope to shed light on mental health issues facing Scott County. They say Scott County doesn't provide enough financial help to people in need of their services.
1 in 4 people will, at any time in a given year, receive mental health services or need mental health services. So it really does affect a lot of people. And we're hoping that we can influence how that care is provided to them.
And 10 patients and 2 Vera French staff members made that trip to Des Moines today. And here at home, a local conference is making sure people get the help they need. The 6th annual Quad Cities Caregivers Conference happened this Saturday, or rather is happening this Saturday. It offers support for people caring for family members.
You do have to be patient, and you have to be able to call upon that feeling in yourself, to really provide care for somebody. And even in the best situations, it can be very overwhelming, and that's really the purpose of this.
Community organizations that offer help for caregivers will be on hand. The free event starts at 8 a.m. and runs through noon at the Waterfront Convention Center in Bettendorf. Visit ourquadcities.com for more information. A car crash leaves a home in Davenport damaged. Police say 2 cars crashed near Locust Street and Wilkes Avenue just before 10:30. This morning, officers say one car hit another, causing one of the cars to crash into the home's porch. 17-year-old Tyler Guzar of Buffalo received a ticket. Police say they're still investigating if speed played a role in that crash. 2 Red Cross volunteers from the Quad Cities will lend a helping hand to people affected by flooding in the South. Louisiana is under a statewide emergency after floodwaters damaged more than 6,000 buildings. As many as 12,000 people have been affected. Flooding has also forced thousands of people from their homes in Texas, Arkansas, and Mississippi. Local Red Cross representatives have sent 5 volunteers to various states. And Chief Meteorologist Annie McCrae joining us now. I know that we're going to be getting some rain, not as badly as they're seeing down south, but still some concerns tonight.
Yeah, not as much rain, but the threat for severe weather definitely there for us this evening. A tornado watch in effect for the entire Local 4 area, and it comes after a high of 71 degrees. You might have noticed how warm it is outside. It's also muggy for this time of year, and that's part of the reason we do have a chance for severe weather this evening. I'll have much more